Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Caitlin McCarthy with 19 News Now, coming to you live from our digital studios. And we are tracking a first alert weather day tonight going into tomorrow morning. And I'll bring you over to Chief Meteorologist Jason Nicholas. And Jason, it was cold today, so we expect it to be even colder tomorrow?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a chilly pattern here. And Caitlin, this is something we've been talking about now for a few days, that the potential was there for, especially tonight into tomorrow morning, for some frosty conditions, potentially here, even a hard freeze. And that's exactly what we have setting up here through the overnight. Now, for the most part, areas along the lakeshore should be okay. It's our inland areas that have the best threat at a hard freeze, and it would be the first one of the year, signifying the end of the growing season. For the most part, we know, it gets cold enough this time of the year that we don't really rely too much more on Mother Nature for any type of growing. So it's one of those things where if you're trying to squeeze out maybe an extra week or two out of something, it might be the end of the game for it. So take a look. 19 first alert weather day tonight into tomorrow morning. Widespread frost, and we do have that freeze warning in effect. Again, mainly away from the lakeshore. That's where our freeze warning is. Along the lakeshore, we have a frost advisory in effect, and that is going to be with us here through the overnight, even into the early morning hours tomorrow. So that means any tender vegetation, bring it on in, with temperatures falling into the low to mid 30s away from the lakeshore. Let's take a look right now at our temps. So we are already chilly, 30s and 40s. Look at Mansfield, Worcester, Akron. This is the area I suspect come tomorrow morning that's going to be the coolest. That's why we have in purple there, that is the freeze warning here for the potential for those temperatures falling, mainly in the low 30s, 31, 32. And specifically, the freeze warning goes from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. So middle of the night, really around sunrise is typically our coldest time of the day. Now, as we get a little bit farther north, we've got the frost advisory, again, 2 to 9 a.m. That's where we look like temperatures maybe 34, 35 there. Still cold for frost. Now, the exception here would be right along the immediate lake shore, and also lake and inland, or I should say lakeshore, Ashtabula, not under that warning. And again, the reason being, or advisory I should say, is because the lake water is still pretty warm. So a little bit of an influence there right along the immediate lakeshore. That's why when we head into our fall color season, which we are reaching peak, beautiful by the way. I was out yesterday afternoon away from the lakeshore. It was fantastic. But along the lakeshore, those leaves tend to turn a little bit later just because of the proximity to Lake Erie. So freeze warning inland, frost advisory lakeshore, hence the 19 first alert weather night. This core of cool air will be around overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. But then we really start to tap into some warm air. Caitlin, great weather forecast heading through really the upcoming week after the chilly start tomorrow. So take a look at first alert future view. We clear the skies. Wind shouldn't be all that bad. Now notice we have a little bit of cloud cover here. That would keep temperatures up, and that's why this area is not under that frost or freeze advisory or warning. But look at our inland areas tomorrow morning. Let's go back just a couple more hours there. Woo, look at those numbers at 6 a.m. So you can easily see why we have the frost and freeze. Look at these numbers away from the lakeshore. Worcester 30, Canton 31, New Philly 30, 32 Akron. So we could be looking at temperatures at or even below freezing come tomorrow morning. Now, we know, living in northern Ohio, it's not a big deal to get temperatures this cold, but it's still in October. It's kind of the first cold day. So that's why we want to make sure that you've got all the info. We quickly warm up. Look where we are right around lunchtime. Mid-50s, clouds and sun, nice day. Near 60 through the afternoon, pretty good stuff. Now, cloud cover and a wind shift will keep us warmer Tuesday morning. Look at that. Still chilly, but nothing like what we're going to see tomorrow morning. And look at our numbers. Tuesday afternoon, we are in the 70s. So we're going to go from about 35 to 70 to 75 by Monday morning through Tuesday afternoon. We could have a doubling of our temps. And cloud cover around late Tuesday into Wednesday, but overall things look okay as well as we head through the day on Wednesday. Although, let me look at that new data there. That just kind of caught me off guard. Okay, so we do have some showers trying to creep their way in Wednesday afternoon. May have to throw that in a spotty chance Wednesday afternoon in our forecast based on that new data. So the next 12 hours right now we're at about 40. We fall down into the upper 30s. Now keep in mind this is a lake shore temp, I should say Hopkins. Away from the lake shore, we're going to be much, much colder. All right, quick glance at the 7-day. First alert 7-day. Notice the nice warming trend. A few showers by the end of the week. Wednesday, we do have that spot shower chance in. Keep that in mind. We may throw in scattered showers there on Wednesday, and then we do cool off by the upcoming weekend. So, Caitlin, first alert weather night in effect. Frost advisory, lake shore freeze warning across our inland counties. We've said it a few times here, and I think for the most part people have gotten it. Protect those plants, bring them on in, cover them up. Growing season, we're talking here a week from Halloween. This is about it.
It's just amazing. It's just, this chilly night and then going into warmer temps just before Halloween. So typical Cleveland fall, it seems like, right?
Yeah, and I think the big story here is we could be in the mid-30s tomorrow morning, even some lower 30s tomorrow morning, and by Tuesday afternoon, some of us could be where we were starting in the mid-30s tomorrow, could be in the mid-70s on Tuesday. So a pretty good swing in the warm direction.
All right, Jason, thank you so much.
Thanks, Caitlin.
All right, and we will have another look at your first alert forecast coming up in about 30 minutes on CW 43, and another look coming up on CBS 19 at 11. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media @Cleveland 19 News.